the glam is something that I wanted to call out.
Oh my gosh, there's just too much boobage going on in that show.
That and just their face is too much. Welcome to No Ordinary Friendship.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Teresa.
Let's catch up. Hello, listeners.
Welcome back
to another week. We have officially, I think, been podcasting for over a year.
Crazy.
So congrats to us.
Did you think we're going to make it this far?
I hoped, but I wasn't sure going into it. And I'm so glad that we're still here and you listeners are still here.
It's been a lot more fun than I expected. And I feel like we are definitely not more technically savvy with podcasting editing.
No. Well, I think we are probably a little bit more than like the first few episodes.
For sure. Like, remember when we were using
GarageBand?
Yes, I couldn't even remember the name of it. That was really difficult.
That was so hard and took much longer. And now if any of you are aspiring podcasters, we use Descript, which makes life so much easier.
I think we use the free version too. There's probably a paid version.
No, we're paying.
Oh.
So tell your friends, because we need money to support our podcasting endeavors.
You pay an annual fee so you forget.
Yeah.
Okay, breaking news.
We got invited to one of Cassie's classmates' birthdays. And I don't know any of Cassie's classmates that well. I feel like it starts a little bit later because I know Charlie's classmates' parents and we have each other's numbers. Mm-hmm. But I think it starts at a slightly later age. But anyway, when we got the invite, it was through like Evites. And instead of just Cassie, it said like Cassie, Ben, and Bryce. So I was like, well, she sent it to my email.
Right.
But maybe she just like copy pasted something wrong. I don't know if it was like uploaded from a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And so I said, yes, I was coming. But then I was like thinking about it. I was like, what if she didn't mean to invite us? Like she only meant to invite a different Cassie that she knows, because I asked a fellow mom and they didn't get invited.
Oh, so it wasn't like everyone was invited.
Yeah, it wasn't like everyone in the class. So I was like, oh, shoot. Like, what if we weren't supposed to get invited and now I RSVP'd yes? So I like awkwardly messaged her and I was like, oh, I just noticed like that it said this. Uh-huh. If you didn't mean to invite us, like no worries at all. And then she was like, oh, so sorry. We actually just have two Cassies, so I mixed it up. But I'm like, of course she would say that if she got caught.
Yep.
So I will never know.
So did you go?
We went because I already RSVP'd. This was the birthday at Happy Hollow.
Okay.
And I was also like, it doesn't really matter. At Happy Hollow, like everyone's kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Although the little boy did give Cassie a hug when we got there. So I was like,
so they know each other.
Maybe he did want to invite her and like said it to his mom. But anyway, I don't know.
So they're not at the age right now where everyone's invited? Like the little girl probably picked, or little boy picked
I don't know. Because
wanted.
If it were me doing it, I would just invite the whole class.
Yeah.
And I think that's what most people do. So that's why I was really confused. Like, why did we get selected?
Yeah, who's Bryce and who's...
I don't know. So I think it's just another family they know that has 3 kids.
What was it?
I don't know. I'll never know. So anyway, I felt super awkward and I was like, it's probably not a big deal either way, but it made me feel so like even when I got there, I was like, thanks for inviting us. Like, I don't really know you and I don't know if you meant to.
Because Happy Hollow isn't cheap either if you don't have...
She's probably like,
no, not at all.
Costly mistake. Anyway. Just had to share.
I really wanted to go to Happy Hollow that weekend too because we also got invited at the same time. It's actually pretty far for you guys.
It is. It's like 40 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm surprised that you made the trek out.
Well, the girls like it. So.
It is a great spot.
Yeah.
Okay, didn't go because we were on our way to Hawaii and we flew out of the smaller airport that you raved about, San Jose in the Bay Area. The water filters there.
Uh-huh.
So I'm always really happy when I see water filters in public areas. SFO in that one terminal has like the really great one, right? But then in other areas, like by the bathrooms, the water filter light is always red.
Oh, really?
A lot of the time.
I've never noticed.
And well, it's like glaring at me.
That means it's like needs to be changed.
It needs to be changed and probably has needed to be changed for a while. Like there's no one upkeeping it. But in San Jose, they are all green. And I just feel like it tastes really different because a lot of this is like years ago at the yoga studios, they didn't do a great job of maintaining the water filters either. And a lot of it's like a high traffic area. So a lot of people fill up their water bottles and it's always red and it just tastes like tap water.
Yeah, it probably is.
It probably is, yeah. Which is fine too, but like I was expecting filtered water. I've become such a snob with water.
The SFO ones, I remember, maybe we talked about this on an old episode, but they have like little indicators for like cold and hot and like ambient maybe. But then like when I was filling my water bottle, the one that was cold, I think it looks kind of like a
fizzy,
snowflake.
Right? Oh.
So many people were like, oh, this is the sparkling water. And I was thinking, they are not providing sparkling water at SFO.
It would be cool though. But don't you think it's weird to drink sparkling water out of a water bottle?
I mean, I don't like sparkling water, period. So
like
out of
it's
anything.
So carbonated, and imagine chugging that. Like it's just like
how can sparkling water quench your thirst? It doesn't.
It does not.
Okay.
So Steven,
thank goodness you're with me on this.
I wouldn't say exclusively, but almost exclusively drinks sparkling water. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. I feel like he's never hydrated. And I'm just like, stop trying to be European right now.
Yeah, we're not a sparkling water household, so I can't understand that.
Okay. On our ride there, so our trip was great. Nobody asked, but it was great.
Nobody got sick, right?
Nobody got sick. We went to Maui, and I think the only thing really worth noting was our plane ride back was kind of stressful. It's actually a shorter flight back. I think it's only 4.5 hours versus 5.5 going there.
Yeah.
Should have been fine. The kids were fine. Like, it's kind of close to nap time. They had plenty of food. But it was a really stressful plane trip because of the woman in front of us. The woman in front of us was a total Karen. So it's a 3-3 configuration. So like me and the kids were sitting together, and Logan, it was taking a little bit longer, opening up a snack, and he was getting really annoyed. And he saw that Tyler was and so he was like kicking a bit, but I am very, very like anxious and also like very diligent about being like, no kicking, like stop, like literally like holding his feet in my hand so he doesn't kick or bother the person in front of us because I know how annoying that is. And the lady in front was super nice. It wasn't like he was been kicking for an hour. Like it was maybe 30 seconds. The flight attendant saw, and he was like, you have to be careful. Talking to me, he was like, you have to watch out. Like, he's kicking. I was like, I'm trying. Like, can't you see that I'm doing a couple different things right now? And then he was like,
the flight attendant?
The flight attendant was kind of like, well, he was not on my side. He ended up moving the lady. That was quite nice. He was like, are you alone? There's a seat over there if you're interested in moving. There's a party of 2 right next to her. They were the annoying, one of them was annoying. So it was like maybe a mom in her 60s, 50s, and then like her mom, maybe in her like 80s, maybe. And then they decided, instead of sitting together, to like move to one aisle, one window. And Tyler,
they don't even like each other.
They do not like each other. Like she was already mad at her mom for like a variety of different reasons. Steven ended up overhearing that they had just lost her iPad or something because they left it at the gate. So she was like already in a pissy mood. But Tyler, he's sitting there fully like a great angel child with his little iPad. But you know, the way his height is right now, like he's repositioning himself on his chair. And so he like kicks, softly kicks. As leverage. And the lady in front was just like, like literally like sighing so loudly, kept looking back, giving us these dirty looks.
For real?
And I was like, what do you want me to do? And I told Tyler, like, stop kicking, be careful, whatever. He wasn't even kicking, so that wasn't even the right word. But she was like, great, now I have the kicker. And I was like, excuse me,
over.
You can sit in the middle seat if you like, because that was your original spot. Like, you don't have to be sitting over here. And she kept like fake elbowing the chair and like kind of like fighting back to Tyler. And I was so livid. And I literally said out loud, like, you can go sit in your middle seat. She didn't hear me.
She's hard of hearing.
She was like talking to her mom, and the mom, Logan started crying because he was upset. I think he was just tired too. And the grandma was so sweet. She was like, don't worry, I can take my hearing aids out. And she also said something like, oh, plane rides are hard, like the ear and the elevation, blah, blah, blah. And I was like,
Okay, so only one of them was the Karen.
Daughter was a total Karen. And I think it was just like, I was already feeling kind of anxious, but like you're an adult and they are 2 years old and 4 years old. I wouldn't even say they're like massively disobedient.
Yeah.
And I was disciplining them.
It's
She
not like
could
you
hear
were
me.
being like ignoring them
Right.
or like not being
or not
present.
enabling
Yeah.
them. And it just caused me so much more stress in that 4 hours than necessary. In the future, I'm going to be so nice to all moms. Like, it was probably 10 minutes when they were really bad, like sprinkled throughout, right? So like a
Yeah.
minute here, a minute there.
That's not bad at all.
But I get it. Like, you just never know how long it will last, but it never lasted long.
Yeah. And people just need to be more understanding. Like, everybody was a kid before.
And I looked at her phone. And she had like pictures of kids on there. So I was like, what are you?
She was probably just in a bad mood. 'Cause
She was.
She lost her iPad.
But like, why are you fighting with a 2 and 4 year old?
It's like that man who was yelling at the baby. Remember?
Yeah, right.
Guess these people are out there.
Okay, let's go back to guess how much.
I'm so
Our
sorry.
favorite segment.
Yes.
I was texting you on the plane.
High speed texted me. No delays.
Starlink. We already
I've
told
never heard
you.
of it until you told me.
Elon Musk's satellite Wi-Fi thingamabobber.
What airline was it?
Hawaiian Airlines.
Oh, okay.
And it was free for everybody. Wait, whoops. I wasn't
so
supposed
nice.
to tell you that.
I was gonna guess like $20.
No, it was free for everyone. And I don't know if they offer it to everyone all the time because they didn't have any TVs on the plane. So maybe it was like,
And it worked
in
like
lieu of
throughout the whole flight.
We were streaming, Emily.
That's amazing.
Like, and I think that makes such a big difference with kids.
Totally.
Because they get to
could watch YouTube.
They could watch whatever they want. As long as you're not live streaming or taking a call, everything else is kosher. And it was like faster than our home internet
amazing.
at some point.
I need to look into Hawaiian Airlines for our flight then.
And Steven was amazed as well. I think he looked it up and maybe United is going to have a partnership with them soon or something like that. But it was...
I don't like United.
I know.
They're my Comcast of airlines.
But just in case, they're super cheap and you happen to fly them.
That's true.
I think there's going to be a partnership. Because usually when you go over the Pacific Ocean, there's
nothing,
there's
right?
nothing or it's like really not reliable.
Yeah.
I was amazed.
Mine is less exciting, but it was just the Mid-Autumn Moon Festival, and, we eat mooncake. Do you know how much mooncakes are costing these days?
I just know they're really
My
expensive.
dad brought one that was like probably this big to us. It was like that like lava custard kind.
What is
which
lava
like
custard?
Like the kind of like a runny custard,
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but like it's only this big. Guess how much it costs?
Okay, Emily's signaling the
maybe
size
like
of a small
2
egg.
inches in diameter.
I don't know what this lava custard thing is, but it sounds fancy. $10?
Yeah. $10
Ridiculous.
for that. I was like, it doesn't even last. Like, split it between me and my girls. Like,
Was it-
everyone gets a tiny sliver.
Wait, so he only brought one?
He brought one. I think he didn't know if we would like it. And then yesterday they came over for dinner. They brought like a bigger normal one.
I think even the bigger normal ones are pretty expensive now too.
They are.
The boxed
It's just
ones.
crazy. I know like cost of goods is going up, but I cannot understand people
Why?
buying that.
I actually don't even know how much they cost when we were little because like my
Same.
parents bought them.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know either.
My parents bought them when we were gifted them all the time.
Yeah. I definitely think post-COVID, everything is so much more than it was.
So we can start making our own.
Do you know how to make them?
No, but our nanny really got into it and I ended up
cool.
buying her some molds.
Nice.
Which our friends' kids are currently using with Play-Doh. And they're really pretty. I'll show it to you. Okay, so this is really random, but you know how Girl Scouts sell cookies? Boy Scouts are selling popcorn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were selling it outside our local supermarket. Yeah, I think it's new too, right? I haven't really seen that. We walked by, me and Steven, and we're like, oh, no, thanks. That's just like our like go-to move,
Yeah.
right? And then when we were inside the supermarket, I felt so guilty. It was like 2 boys that were asking and they were with their
You're
mom.
like, that could be my boys.
That could be my boys. That could be me as a mom in the future. We just like brushed them off. So the whole time I was like, I'm going to go buy it. I'm going to buy it. And I was getting kind of nervous because we were taking a long time at the
gonna be
supermarket.
there?
Yeah. We come out. I was like, for sure I'm buying something. Guess how much?
Oh, dear. How big was it?
This big.
Like a tin?
No, it wasn't a tin. It was just like a bag of popcorn, like a
Like the farmer's market kettle corn type bag?
No, just like a regular like skinny pop bag.
Oh, okay.
Not the small one, but like somewhere in between the small and the large one.
Okay.
What do you how many ounces or whatever that is?
$10?
No. So there are 2 flavors, caramel corn and white cheddar.
20?
Yeah.
What?
For popcorn. I was like, okay, thank goodness this is some kind of fundraiser type of thing
You
right
bought
here.
it?
I mean, I had to. The caramel corn, for whatever reason, was $25, and then the regular or the white cheddar was $20.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't even eat dairy, and I was like, give me the cheddar one.
I'll eat it for $5 savings.
Steven
Wait, that
ate
is
it all.
ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, on top, I was
You
like,
know, at Costco, you can get like a skinny pop or
But are
boom
you
chicka pop for
supporting-
like $6, and it's ginormous.
I know, which is why it hurt me to buy that. And it's popcorn of all things.
I know.
So
Money even real these days?
I'm okay with
Are
it
we in a game?
because we're supporting the Boy Scouts. But come on, Boy Scouts, get your act together. Get some volume.
Yes.
Like, do whatever the Girl Scouts are doing. Because I
Yeah.
feel like popcorn is something that people will buy.
Yeah.
But at $20 a bag, they're really not going for
Limiting.
volume based.
Yeah. I guess it's like photos on cruise ships. I always felt like, why don't they charge a little less? Everyone will buy them versus like you're getting like 1 out of 30 people to buy it.
Because they're already taking the pictures.
Exactly. It's already printed out
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
But some McKinsey or Bain has probably told them this is the right way to go.
They're going to start laying off people now because of them.
Okay. Last one, and guess how much? I just booked our Disneyland tickets.
Oh. When are you going?
We're going in October because my cousin's getting married.
At
And so-
Disneyland?
no, not at Disneyland, but in SoCal. So we're just like adding a trip
Okay.
on since flights are so crazy expensive. Thankfully, Cassie is going to still be 2, so she's free. But guess how much? I'm doing 2 days, 1 park per day.
Okay.
For me, Victor, and Charlie.
800.
910. You're close though.
It was, I swear, it was like 800 something last year when I looked.
Oh my gosh. I'm just like, last year, or we went this February, and I was able to get like, the kids had $50 a day. There was a
Right.
promo, so that helped so much.
Yeah.
And for the very last time, I used my SoCal resident driver's license.
You still have that?
And so I was able to get me and Victor for cheaper too. And it's crazy now. I'm paying full price, no discounts. I was like, how are people affording to take their kids?
Well, I mean, it's like one trip every
Yeah.
5 years, right?
Yeah. And I saw like there was some news article that was like, parents are going into debt to take their kids to Disneyland.
That is
and
so
now
sad.
I get why. Because
Yeah.
they probably are like, I really want to take them. It's so special. But it's freaking $900. And some
Right.
of them probably go for many days because it's like
A big trip.
Yeah.
I know. I remember
And
going.
once you're in, it's not like everything is free.
Right.
It's not like an all-inclusive.
Can you bring your own food
You
into
can.
Disneyland?
They're
Okay,
pretty good
that's
about
good.
They don't care if you bring it.
Yeah. It's not, but people
But I
gonna-
don't.
Yeah. Well, that's on you.
The other thing I saw, which I'm going to test out this time, they were like, kids under 3 are the guest of Walt Disney or something, and they even eat free, or I'm not sure. So I'm going to go ask this time what that means.
Definitely look it up on
Yeah.
TikTok or something.
I'm like, do they get popsicles for free? Do they get churros for free?
Oh, that would be
I don't know.
amazing.
I'm sure there's a catch.
Yeah.
But I saw that
It's
somewhere.
like one jelly bean. One Walt
One
Disney jelly
pickle.
bean. One
Nobody
pickle.
wants.
Yeah, kids don't like pickles. Man, I remember going on a whim when we were.
Oh, when we were graduating?
Yes, you and I went with a couple of
Yeah.
other girlfriends. No, I went on a whim with Steven one time when we were driving back from San Diego, I think. Just
Oh, you
us two.
did?
Because, what else are we going to do? We were just us two. But I remember seeing a sign in the parking lot that was like, financing here. And it just made me really sad
Yeah.
that had to be an option. I'm glad they have that
Yeah.
option, but it's
I guess
sad
people finance everything these days with like a firm or whatever. You can buy like clothes and pay. it
Oh,
over
like
4
buy now,
months.
pay later.
Yeah.
Not a great model in the US,
No.
it feels like. Yikes. Okay, well,
Yes. So I'm gonna be eating leftovers for the foreseeable future.
how fun though. I think the weather will be really nice.
I hope so. I mean, it can't be worse than knock on wood. it was raining like almost the whole time we were there last time.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, pop culture.
Yes, getting to the meat of our episode, although I feel like we're running out of time.
20 minutes in.
Listeners, we have been busy watching shows.
So many good shows right now.
Yes. Don't hate me. I have to say, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I was actually hoping it was more
swinging,
like documentary style. I didn't know actually about the swinging thing going. Okay, listeners, also major spoilers ahead because we're just going to talk about it. Major. And we've finished the latest season of Selling Sunset. We finished the Mormon one, and we finished the latest Emily in Paris.
Yes.
But I think I'm just not a like Real Housewives target audience.
Are we starting there? Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
Sure.
Okay. If you don't know, listeners, you're probably under a rock or you're just not into reality TV, but like this show has completely blown up on Hulu. Like if you don't follow anything else pop culture, then you may not know about it, but I would recommend it. It's what, 8 episodes maybe?
I think so,
8 to 10 episodes. And it follows like these really, they're not really young. They're like 20s and like early 30s. They're young though,
because they're all moms. They're all married.
Yeah. But they're not like teen moms, you know?
No, yeah.
Someone said
One
it was
of
like
them was like 23 though.
Mm-hmm. And she's divorced with 2 kids.
Yeah.
But they all live in Utah. They all are part of this thing called Mom Talk.
On TikTok.
Yeah. And it follows, and it started off, like you can tell on the first episode, it started off as Taylor, the main girl, who like kind of doesn't even really become the main girl later on, but she was the reason like this show was created because in 2020, her and her friends were like doing TikTok dances, whatever, blew up. And then it came out that her and her husband are divorcing. And then because she got with like one of her friends' friend's husband. And so that's when and then she went on TikTok Live and talked about this whole thing called like soft swinging, which obviously if you're super religious or like in any culture, it's kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
So that was the original controversy.
And she drinks, which is like definitely not okay with traditional Mormon culture.
Yeah, and a lot of them on the show kind of do, and it follows
what, like half of them I feel like
8 girls and I don't know, what is it, like their journey through friendship and like breaking traditional norms but also
I don't know, like it was really interesting I guess because I didn't know anything going into it, so it was just like interesting to watch. There was definitely a lot of drama. It was surprising to find out that they were all in their 20s, or maybe the oldest is 30.
Yeah.
But they look way older.
Yeah, I
think it's because they do all this Botox and filler prematurely or something.
Yeah, and all the makeup that they do. And it's just really interesting. Someone described it as a very niche subculture that like you don't get a lot of exposure to, but it's blowing up kind of like Jersey Shore did because while it's like so ingrained in their world, to us, we're just outsiders looking in.
Yeah. Oh, and the fact that they don't drink coffee, so they drink soda first thing in the morning.
That was the crazy. They drink 44-ounce sodas.
It's called like Swig. It's like a very popular chain there.
In Utah because they have to get their caffeine somehow with like all those children.
Yeah. I think it's really funny that like the Mormon culture poo-poos on like piercings and tattoos, but you can get a boob job. Like, what? I don't understand those rules.
Yeah, there was a lot of that kind of stuff, too, that follows throughout these girls' lives. And I think, like, for sure, they're going to get a couple of seasons because there's just so much that hasn't.
And they kind of left it at a cliffhanger, right? At the end of the season.
But I feel like that cliffhanger is so silly because everyone knows that they're still together anyway. And so, like...
Because it's been too long.
Did she or did she not sleep with that guy? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, the thing that made me so annoyed was probably everybody.
Zach.
Yeah, Zach is the husband of this one girl named Jen Affleck. And people were saying, oh, everyone else just gets a first name, but every time it's hers, it says Jen Affleck. Because I guess her husband is a cousin Ben Affleck. Yeah. But they went to Vegas. And they went to a Chippendale show, and she didn't even stay for the show because he was so upset. And he was like, I can't be with you. Like, I'm going to divorce you. And on top of that, like, she is the breadwinner. She's, like, putting him through medical school.
Yes.
And taking care of the kids.
Yes.
And, like, he just is being, like...
controlling.
Yeah.
Literally kind of crazy.
And he's not even good looking. Like, I don't know what his redeeming factors are. Like, I can understand if like, oh, he's so hot, so I'm like really in love with him. It's like, he's weird looking.
He has highlighter yellow hair. And he's like, they moved to New York now too.
Did they?
And she wants to move back to Utah.
So he isolated her from all her friends?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, I was looking at her TikTok recently, and all the comments were like, do what's best for you, Jen.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people too were like, oh, I just want to make sure I make it very clear. I don't dislike Zach because he's Mormon. I dislike Zach because he's Zach.
Agreed.
Like, he is the epitome. Like, there's so many examples of him being a total gaslighter, being completely irrational, like putting Jen through like undeserved hell.
Yeah. And she just like takes it.
Yeah. It's actually really sad to watch.
Yeah.
I think at some point she is
and
going to.
I also feel like she, at least during the show, she was like only 24, right? She's young.
Yeah,
so
24,
like,
26.
In a way, getting married that young, like you don't know yourself yet. You don't know what you deserve.
Yeah.
You're like imagine us at 24. We're like feeling out the world, you know?
And I think the most relatable girls on that show are the ones that are older ones.
Yeah.
Older, divorced, or like on their second marriage or something, because they've seen it. They've seen more. They've experienced more.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine being married. It's like children having children.
Yes, agreed. Sometimes I still feel that way. And I'm almost 40.
Same.
I'm like, how am I a mom? How am I responsible for other
I don't know either.
lives?
Where's my mom? She knows what's happening. Sometimes I can't make a decision. Steven's like, go ask your mom.
I love it. Okay, should we move to the next one, or is there anything else you wanted to say? There's like too much to say.
There's too much to say. Like, there's just so many storylines. I've only heard one person say that they didn't like the show because they felt like the show could have gone deeper into certain areas. So, for example, I think Jen Affleck and her husband, Zach, she said something like, oh, her mom is the cleaning lady at the same hospital where her father-in-law is like the general surgeon there, or surgeon general, whatever it's called. And so there's like a lot of different dynamics at play here. But again, she is the breadwinner.
Yeah.
He also gambled away the $2,500 that she
That
gave
was a
him.
weird dynamic. She was like, I'm going to give you $2,500, but you better not lose it all. But I'm like, you're going to gamble. Like, what do you expect to happen? You can't guarantee he's going to keep that money.
And apparently his parents gave him money for medical school, but he blew it off gambling.
Oh my gosh. They didn't cover that very much.
I don't even know like where he like gets his control, like where he thinks he can have any type of
Maybe
say or
because he's
control.
related to Ben Affleck. I don't know. He's the worst.
I want Ben Affleck to come out and say something.
I disown him. I do not admit that we are related.
Okay, let's move on to Selling Sunset.
Okay.
The glam is something that I wanted to
Oh my
call
gosh.
out.
There's just too much boobage going on in that show.
That and just their face is too much.
So much. And the episode where Mary was really upset and crying because their dog died.
Yeah.
Did you see, like, she cannot cry normally. She's so frozen. It's like a caricature. Like, her forehead and her, I don't know, it just looked really weird to me. And then I was like, oh, she must be really old. Like, so she had to do all this Botox.
She is
She's
much
not
old.
that old.
Wait, what?
How old do you think she is?
45?
She's 44.
Oh.
But Amanda is 47.
She looks fantastic.
She looks so good. And Chriselle, I think, is 43.
Yeah.
But Mary looks like 10 years older than both of them to me because she does so much. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think she looks 10 years older than them.
I don't know. She does. And then, like, you can tell, like, her neck looks much more wrinkly. I was like, is she lying about her age?
I mean,
I
she
don't know.
could
It's
be.
giving, like, Joan Rivers to me. Do you remember
Oh,
Joan Rivers?
I am not there yet with Mary. I actually think she's very pretty. Okay. I'm like squinting
Her
like
eyes,
crazy
like,
right now.
I don't know. I love Mary, actually, as a character. Like,
Yeah.
I don't dislike her, but I think she's done too much.
Interesting. Okay, I need to go back and look though.
I was like, gonna guess she was like 49, 50. I swear.
Really?
Yes.
Is it just because she has an adult child and you know that?
No, it's her face and like, I don't know.
And also because her husband is so young.
Yes.
I was really distracted because they all look like the way we looked on our wedding day. Times
Or
10.
more, yeah.
Times 10 when they were just like grabbing a casual coffee
Yes,
at like
it's too much.
a local cafe.
And they're doing too many of those shots where it's like they're standing still and the camera's panning around them. So I'm like, this is not reality TV. You know, it's like very planned and produced.
Yeah.
Where it's like, stand there and look sad. Okay, we're going to go around you now.
I don't know how long or how much of this show will like be sustainable in the future.
It's getting too out there, especially if you go back to season 1 where they're dressed pretty normally, like normal LA glam.
Yeah.
Versus now.
So, you know, the end of the episode, it like automatically goes back to season 1, episode 1.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You should go take a look because like within the first 5 minutes, they introduced Chriselle.
Yeah.
They all had like jowls, you know.
Did they?
Or Chriselle did, I think.
Oh,
And I
do
was like,
need to go
wow, it's
look.
like so interesting how they're kind of aging backwards, but
Yeah.
also like clearly they're having so much more
Yeah.
work done.
It's probably a lot of pressure on them too.
Yeah.
They're like each one-upping the other.
But
with
the
how much
glam,
boob
if they tone it
show.
down, I think they'll look younger.
I agree. It's too much. That's why I actually think the new girl, Alana, looks the most like normal.
Yeah, and she's not that much. Well,
I don't know how old
she's
she is.
31.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she is a lot younger. But Chelsea is only 31 as
Chelsea
well.
does too much, yeah.
She does too much. Okay, last thing, Emily in Paris.
Yes. What did you think?
I binged it last night, and I thought it was really good.
Really good.
I binged the second half.
Do you feel like they're like exiting Camille's character?
I hope so.
It seemed like it,
Yeah,
right?
like she's having a baby. She's doing her, lots of spoilers. Yeah, she's having her own baby. I hope they exit Gabrielle at some point too.
I kind of feel like, yeah, I'm torn because I was Team Gabrielle like all the past however many seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then this season, I don't know if they intentionally made him less good looking because I definitely felt he was less good looking.
Definitely needed a haircut.
He needed a haircut. He needed to like just like care about himself a little more or something. He also was just like a sourpuss.
Yeah. He
I
was
didn't-
frumpy.
It didn't make sense to me why he was so upset at Emily too. She was super understanding that he was like having a baby with someone else and like she didn't say he couldn't go to Camille's for Christmas. Like, and then he left her on the mountain and then he's mad at her.
I don't understand why he left her on the mountain just because
Yeah.
he wanted to raise Camille.
I think because Camille's pregnant. So he was like, Camille, wait, be careful.
I
you know?
see.
I mean, that's the only excuse I could think of.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it happened because then she met Marcello, who's great.
Yeah.
And she got to have her Roman holiday, which I don't know if those of you made a connection, but it's like such a nod to the Roman holiday movie
yeah.
with Audrey Hepburn. Like her outfit with the white button-down shirt is
The little
like
Vespa.
pretty much a copy of what Audrey Hepburn wore. And I enjoyed that.
I just felt like I wish I could relive my. I don't know how Emily is
same.
supposed to. How old is she supposed to be in that
I'm
show?
not sure. 30s? Early
30s probably, because she's like pretty far ahead in her career
Yeah.
now. But it just made me want to relive that part, like my late 20s, early
Yeah.
30s again, and just be so free and like, yeah,
too.
sure, things feel like a big deal at the time, but you have so many opportunities for fun and adventure and
Yes.
really no one else to care about but yourself.
Yeah, and so Victor actually watches it with me, Emily in
does he?
Paris. And when we saw the Rome part, we were like, oh my God, because like we've been to Rome a couple of times,
Yeah.
definitely pre-kids, and we're just like, that was the best time. Like the food was so good, and you just don't really have a care in the world.
I'm shocked that Victor watches this
yeah,
with you.
he doesn't mind.
Does he like it?
We're pretty good about like each of us will like watch the other's preferred genre as long as it's not like really bad.
Yeah.
Because we do like to watch things together at night while we eat. That's like
Yeah.
our time together. So he's been watching it almost from the beginning. I think I watched season 1 mostly by myself and he like came in at some point.
Yeah, you don't really need to know past seasons.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, when I asked Steven to watch something with me, he's like, I can't. Because I do watch a lot of like reality TV.
Yeah, I don't know if Victor would be down for that. But like, okay, so I watched Shogun. That's not like my preferred, but I could.
Oh, because he wanted to watch it.
Yeah. And then he wants to watch we've been watching The Lord of the Rings. There's a show too.
There is?
Yeah. I forget what it's called. And maybe it's on Prime or something, but I wouldn't pick that. But
Right.
I'm happy to watch it.
Right.
Although some days I'm like, can we watch something else?
All right, that is all the time we have today.
Okay. Don't
Watch-
forget to share with your friends so we can keep going. We got to pay for that Descript.
Bye, listeners. Thanks for sticking with us.
Bye.